The first sound I heard was the glass shattering. Then came the silence. Heavy, suffocating, like the air itself had stopped breathing. My husband's eyes, those calm brown eyes that once held me steady through every storm, were wide, unblinking, reflecting the very thing I couldn't take back. He had seen it. Me. My boss. And that awful blurred line between desperation and betrayal that I had convinced myself was ambition. 3 weeks earlier I thought I was holding everything together. I was exhausted juggling 2 jobs, trying to keep the mortgage afloat while Michael's carpentry business barely survived the slow season. We fought over everything, money, time, how he never wanted to go out, how I never wanted to stay in. He stopped touching me months ago. His silence had become a wall I couldn't climb, no matter how hard I tried. Then there was Richard, my manager. Charismatic, powerful, always smelling faintly of expensive cologne and confidence. He noticed things Michael didn't. The new perfume. The way I wore my hair. The effort. He told me I was too talented to be overlooked. And I believed him because I needed to. Every late-night email, every coffee run that turned into a quiet conversation about opportunity, pulled me closer to something I told myself was professional. But when the promotion list came out, my name wasn't there. "Come to the dinner Friday," he said softly. "We'll talk about it then." I told Michael it was mandatory. He offered to come with me, though he never liked my colleagues. I almost said no, but then something cruel inside me whispered, let him see what it takes to be noticed. The restaurant glowed golden that night. Crystal chandeliers, velvet booths, the low murmur of laughter and expensive wine being poured. Richard was already there, his hand resting lightly on the small of my back as he guided me to the table. Michael sat across from us, stiff, uncomfortable, sipping water while Richard's stories filled the room. "You've got a good one," Richard said, smiling at him, his fingers brushing my wrist as if he owned it. "Lydia's the reason half our clients stay." Michael nodded politely, but his eyes darted to that touch, small, fleeting, but far too familiar. After dinner, Richard ordered another round. His laugh was too loud now, his compliments too personal. "You know," he said, leaning close, "I could make sure your name's on that next list. I just need to know how committed you really are." Michael stiffened. I saw his jaw tighten. "Committed?" he asked sharply. Richard smirked. "To the company, of course." But his hand was already on my thigh beneath the tablecloth. My breath caught. I froze, heart pounding so hard I thought everyone could hear it. Michael's gaze dropped. For one suspended, endless second, I saw it dawn on him. The realization that something between us had cracked long before this dinner. I wanted to pull away, to tell him it wasn't what it looked like. But it was. I had let it happen. Because part of me wanted him to feel something, anger, jealousy, anything other than that distant indifference that had filled our home. So I didn't move. The next morning the promotion email came. My name was on it this time. Michael didn't say a word when I walked into the kitchen. The sunlight cut through the blinds, striping his face in golden shadow. The smell of burnt coffee lingered in the air. "You got what you wanted," he said finally. His voice was quiet, brittle. I swallowed. "Michael, please, it wasn't." "Don't," he said, his eyes hard now. "You let him touch you. Right there. In front of me." Tears blurred my vision. "I thought you didn't care anymore. You don't even look at me." He slammed his mug down. Coffee splattering across the counter. "You think this is how you make me care? By letting another man prove your worth." I reached for him, but he stepped back. His silence this time wasn't cold. It was final. The following week I started my new role. Richard's praise was public now, polished, professional. But his eyes still lingered too long. And every compliment reminded me what it had cost. The office smelled of stale coffee and printer ink, but I could still smell him. The faint scent of sawdust that used to cling to Michael's shirts. I tried calling him. He never answered. Then one evening as I was packing up, Richard walked into my office, holding a small velvet box. "For your hard work," he said smoothly, setting it on my desk. Inside was a diamond bracelet. Cold. Perfect. Lifeless. "Richard," I said, my throat tight. "This isn't appropriate." He smiled unfazed. "It's just a token of appreciation. You earned it." For a moment I saw myself through his eyes, not as a woman with dreams or worth, but as a transaction. A favor owed. I left it there. Weeks passed before I saw Michael again. He came by to collect his tools from the garage. I watched from the doorway, wanting to apologize but afraid to open the wound. He paused before leaving, his voice quiet but steady. "You could have just told me you needed more. I would have tried." "I thought you stopped trying," I whispered. He gave a sad smile. "We both did. Just in different ways." And then he was gone. That night I sat alone in the dark, the bracelet still gleaming under the lamplight. I realized I hadn't earned anything at all. I had only traded pieces of myself for validation that vanished the moment I held it. The promotion didn't fill the silence in the house. It only echoed louder. Because the truth was, I hadn't just betrayed my husband. I'd betrayed myself. And there's no promotion in the world that can fix that.